Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center, the site of tonight's action. Game 2 in this two-game series between the Wildcats and Mavericks. Again, last night, Mavericks 7-3 winners over Northern Michigan. So Maverick expand that lead in the WCHA standings. Mike Hastings, his team inching closer to yet another WCHA regular season championship. And on the other side, third-year head coach Grant Patolny with his team under the first 2 years of Patolny's reign, back-to-back 20-win seasons. And again, with the Beavers being off this weekend and with that pending series next week, as Northern Michigan will host Bemidji State, 3 more big points to be decided. We talked about it at the onset of our broadcast last night. Really nothing's changed except for the fact the Mavericks 3 points closer. And Northern Michigan coming back tonight with Nolan Kent. He got chased last night after 4 goals. Better effort out of him, really, Dan. A better effort out of everyone's needed to get some points and tighten up that race for second and third.
Yeah, they can't have what happened last night happen again tonight, or it's all over for them. The Mavericks' magic number down to 11 to oust the Beavers and win the WCHA regular season title. If they win tonight, it's 8. If the Beavers lose 1 game next weekend, the Mavericks can wrap it up at home the following weekend with Alabama Huntsville.
We'd rather have it racked up in 2 weeks when we're home here, as you mentioned, with the Chargers. That's our next broadcast on Maverick Hockey Weekend as we're underway. And Dan, this one, there's part of me that says this one could get really interesting as far as the physical nature of the contest.
This has all the makings of what should be a real physical game. Last night got interesting. Tonight could be very, very, very physical.
Last night, the first 10 minutes were...
It was crazy.
It was some wild... I mean, the Mavericks racked up like 14 shots on goal in the first 10 minutes of play.
The Wildcats can't afford to have that happen again tonight. The Mavericks got off to a great start.
Blue with the shot that's off the leg of Rivera. Chipped out to center ice. Rivera left off now for French. Blue is back, and he's behind his own net. Blue dumps it into the Maverick zone. Loughran. Connor Mackey picks up the puck for Sandlin. Left off for Rivera. Newhouse with a long lead pass, dumped in by Slattery. Craighead on the far side. Volton is over there. Not many personnel changes for the Wildcats, but I would say changes certainly in terms of line allotments. And for the Mavericks, no changes really across the board. But for Northern Michigan, you're not used to seeing Vincent DeMay on the 4th line. You're not used to seeing, Craighead off that first line, so really pretty much up and down, maybe outside of some defensive alignments.
Well, sometimes you just try to shake things up.
Smith trying to put it into the zone. Still between the skates, dug out along the boards. Napravnik's after it for Minnesota State. Now Toomey has it poked away. Carroll will drive it back in. Napravnik chips it back. Toomey down low, trying to feed one for Napravnik. Still loose on the side of the net, and then Kent covers it up, and there's 15s going at it, and Caleb Shore and Napravnik. Dan, are keys to the game?
Mike Hastings said discipline, discipline, discipline. Also, stay out of the box, which has to do with discipline, and then shut down that top line with Loughran. If they can do that, they think they can get out of here with another big 3 points.
So discipline's important tonight.
I think discipline's important tonight, yes.
Well, we talked a bit about the officials' calls last night, and even in the end, Mike Hastings said we just have to find a way to stay out of the box. 7 power plays last night.
That's too many.
Yeah, they were good on one of them. The Mavericks 2 for 5 with the man advantage, and then the Mavericks also, again, another shorthanded goal from Rivera last night.
The one thing about the Mavericks is you can't just assume we can pound them into submission.
Connor Mackey, first shot gets blocked. Thinks about putting one down low for Girard, but that was defended well. McNeely is back. Spooner. Mackey ahead for Dewar. Van Unen ahead for Gontus. Scheid left off, back for Spooner. 2 goals last night, puts one in on net. And Kent is there for the save.
Many times when you have a good skating club, people think that they're not a good physical team, and if you hit them, you can make them not be able to skate. Well, that's not the case with this club. Mavericks are one of the strongest teams that you see in the country. They're certainly one of the best skating teams. So if you want to play physical, the Mavericks can do that as well.
French will step in to take the face-off for the Mavericks. Draw actually won, however, by Northern Michigan. Right at the blue line, Sorensen will force the issue, but Scheid is there. Sandlin played out of the zone. Rivera taps it in. To the near side, it will be played. Gontus has it turned away. Gontus carries into the zone, tries to work past Mackey. Chipped out, set off a skate by Yaremko's blast into the zone, and Mackey's after it. Back there with Vecchio. Plays it in on net, so Connor Mackey, a nice play there as he's trying to create some offense into the zone. Mavericks without a couple of key cogs in the wheel tonight, and another guy, another game out for Michaelis. Really no idea when he might be back.
Right.
We're thinking with the week off next weekend, it'd be great to have him back for that last home series.
It certainly would, but we just don't know. We've heard that he's skating. I haven't seen it, but until he's on the ice playing, that's I get asked it all the time. What's the situation? When's he coming back? I said, I know as much as you do.
Yaremko played ahead there, and Klee sends it out of the zone, but all the way down. McNeely comes back. Shore on the far side tries to play it back, but fanned on that attempt. Connor Mackey gets a return feed from McNeely.
Mavericks have trailed 2-0 after 2 periods on each of the last 3 Saturday nights. I'm confident that won't be the case tonight. I have no idea what it will be, but the math just says the odds of being down 2-0 4 Saturdays in a row is not good.
Volton into the zone. Craighead sends it down low. Hookinson is there to break it up. Slattery for the Wildcats. Near side Sorensen. Through some traffic, got through, and I think Craighead had a good look at a tip attempt. He gets the puck in the corner, up on top for Sorensen. Puts in a shot that's off a leg into the corner. Now the Mavericks with Carroll. He just lifts it out to center ice to clear. Slattery sends it right back in. Hookinson for Minnesota State. Dumped in. Far side, Napravnik is after it. He gets a spill. DeMay to the far side. Low angle shot taken by Loven. Return feed out in front. Oh, wow. And a huge save. Somehow that blocker got out. Dryden McKay, biggest save of the night without hesitation, and it's dumped right back in.
He had to really spread out the legs to be able to make that save. That was an enormous save early on.
Smolik rink wide to Napravnik for Smith. Smith getting around Ballou. Smith out in front. Oh, and then he runs out of the opportunity to backhand one in as it played off his stick through the crease. Great look there by Smith nonetheless. Smith being worked over by Yaremko. Now Dallas Gerads. Ballou breaks it up. Gontus unable to clear. A Spooner is there to break up the play, and then they're going to say played with a hand pass. And we, I believe, might go to a break. Yeah, we will. So a little under 14 minutes left in a scoreless first period from Mankato. Again, Mavericks looking to sweep out the series.
Both teams have had one good chance, I would say.
Both teams splitting series back a couple of months ago up in Michigan. Mavericks winning on a Friday night game, 5-2, and it was a 4-1 win on the back side of that one by Northern Michigan. Sandlin for French. French and Nardi going after it. French still with it. Then Rivera overskates it along the boards. Lochran tips it out. Nardi the other way. Dantas, and that one is going to be chipped out of play off the skate of McKay for another faceoff.
Not quite as wide open as the first 10 minutes were last night.
You know, so many other things developed. We really didn't have a chance to talk about it, but I can't imagine necessarily, certainly Patolny was excited about what he was seeing. I think it was even a little more wide open than Mike Hastings would have been used to, but he needed a quick start from his team.
You know, and you mentioned Grant Patolny, and you spoke to him before the game. And one of the things he said is nobody's come in here and swept the Mavericks in 5 years. So they didn't come in here thinking we're going to get, we're coming in sweeping. He said we're hoping to win a game this weekend, and we still have that chance.
We're going to toss Klee. Caleb Shore will step in now for this draw along with Spooner. Mavericks with Hookinson over to Doer. That one's chipped out of play. Yet another souvenir, which it's autographed night. And no, I'm not signing, but you can take
Don will not sign for free anyway.
Yes, we established that last night. My allegiance can be bought.
Yes.
I got bills, Dan.
We all do, Don.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to shovel snow, I think, too.
You're right.
Not enamored with that. It's been a few weeks away from that.
5 to 9.
I was almost starting to see some grass.
Well, that'll get covered up.
The people in Michigan don't feel real bad.
No, they don't.
Spooner with the Doer down low. Shot up high. That was a sprawling defensive player on the ice. Looked like it was Newhouse who'd gone down to break up any cross slot pass. Doer. Newhouse is there yet again. Raider. Sent in by Sorensen. Spooner for the Mavericks. Doer rink wide for Smolik. To the side of the net, Craighead picks things up. Jaremko. Charlie Gerard. Scheid puts one off a body down low, bouncing puck that Volton will track down. Craighead. Slattery steps into the play. Left off for Craighead, kicked over to Volton. Up on top, Van Unen broken up and come out. It's not a great pass.
One of those along the blue line that just gets away from you and take the whole team out of the offense because of it.
Dumped in by Scheid. Lutz is after it. Along with Blue, who plays it out. Ooh, they almost had a turnover there. Flipped out of the zone, out of play.
It's been a lot of ooh almost so far.
By me or the fans?
No, by the players on the ice more than anything else.
I might have had one or two so far in the game. Yeah, it's a big game for both teams.
It really is. I mean, much more so for the Wildcats and the Mavericks. Mavericks have some room to play with. They don't want to mess with it though, but they've got some room, and there's no margin of error left for Wildcats whatsoever. If they want to win the WCHA, they absolutely have to win tonight. Have to win next weekend at home with the Beavers and hope for some help.
This draw will be controlled by Northern Michigan and Newhouse. Smith. Here comes Toomey down the slot. Oh, and then he just tried to work past Sorensen to feed a play on top of the crease, but Sorensen's skate was there. Gantus. McNeely back for Mackey. McNeely dumps it in. Sorensen, pass broken up by French, left off now for Sandlin. Sandlin with the shot, and that one is on the side. Carroll tees one up, and that's kicked into the corner.
That was a great idea by Carroll. The goalie was scrambling a little bit, so just fire it right back on net and see what happens.
Well, especially after last night, those were the shots that were scoring. I tell you what, nobody in the building probably happier than Nolan Kent to get the call and go back into the nets.
Yes.
You had to know, for a guy who was the reigning goaltender of the month in the WCHA, he just could have not been more upset with his own performance than last night.
He had a couple that were just head shakers.
Played down low. Oh, and then Hookinson can control the pass from Dallas Girads, and Northern Michigan back the other way. Vincent DeMay takes a big hit along the boards by Doer. Bouncing puck, Dallas Girads will get and just dump in.
Midway through the first period, 5-4 shots tonight as compared to last evening. It's not even close.
Both teams are sluggish, aren't they? Shy tipped into the zone by Doer. Kent, near side blue, takes the hit. Reedman ahead for Smolik. Spooner knocked off his stick and then couldn't connect with Doer and dumped into the zone. Raider at the line. It's held by Newhouse. Scheid, Spooner. Doer able just to clear. Spooner trying to force the issue, but Sorensen turns it around. Van Osha with the skate was able to hold a little bit, but then Shore comes back the other way.
Nobody's really been able to get set up and control the puck in the offensive zone for any length of time so far.
Here come the Mavericks, Jaremko and Charlie Gerard. Jaremko, Gerard. Oh, and he tried to go short side and is kicked out of there by Kent. Charlie Gerard ahead now. Lutz unable to catch up to it before Kent can play it. Low angle shot down low. It's still there. It got caught between the skates of Kent and Jaremko, just not there quite in time. Bolton and Connor Mackey. Charlie Gerard plays it back now for McNeely. A couple of really good looks by that shift. Down to 8.5 in the first period. No score.
Quite a bit of crowd waiting to get seated. This has been a long little run here with no stoppages.
That's what you get for showing up late.
That's right.
I know it's a 6 o'clock game, but we should all be used to it by now. I was here already at noon for a good seat. Gontis almost tried to work a 2-on-2 magic with Samnardi, but it was broken up. Smolik still in the zone, and now Toomey will carry for the Mavericks and give way to Smith. Smith, I think, got lost in the skates of the linesman.
Introduced myself to the veteran of the game from last night, Dave Smith. And I met the first goaltender in Maverick history this evening as well. Oh, no.
Yeah, there's a dangerous play. The Mavericks still in the zone, and now I think Toomey's going to break it up. But, boy, Dryden McKay a little bit too relaxed. And I don't care if you're in the first year of hockey and the guy you met last night or this one. That was just not very well played.
No. Bill Osborne was the first goaltender in Minnesota State history. I met he and Dave today at Weggy's when they were having some lunch.
Things starting to heat up as Rivera and Sorensen get tied up. Now Newhouse in the corner. Broken up by Sandlin on that clearing attempt. Rivera and Reedman out in front. Here comes French trying to feed Carroll. Body's starting to fly now a little bit. Long lead pass out of the zone, and Doer taps it away. And the Mavericks, that one's going to be offside. We'll take a break. 6:49 left to go here in the first. No score on a Maverick hockey weekend. Mavericks here on Saturday Night Hockey. We mentioned Potulny, 20-win seasons for Northern Michigan the first years. They come in tonight, 4 wins away from making that a trifecta. Dumped in by Carroll. Vesio out to center ice for Raider. McKay handles this one better than the last opportunity like that. Girads for Doer, dumped into the zone. Dallas Girads. Spooner score!
That's a heck of a finish.
Not sure if it got over to Jared Spooner or not on the play, but a great rush up the ice. And the Mavericks take advantage of that rush and open up the scoring here 1-0 with 6:25 left in the first.
Didn't look like it was going to happen originally. Oh, yeah. Yeah, hard to tell here.
I think Spooner stick that on it, but there was also looked like someone there from Michigan Tech, so it might go on the pass. They're going to say Dewar. We'll have to wait for official confirmation, and that might not even be good enough. We changed the scoring on the first goal last night for the Mavericks, but again, as was the case,
it's a 1-0 either way.
Exactly.
And my 2-0 trailing is absolutely correct tonight. They will not trail 2-0 after 2 periods tonight.
Smolik, Charlie Gerard behind the net, trying to find some room. Gerard being worked over by Philip Blue on the play. Slattery able to clear.
Goal of the season, number 17, Walker.
So they give it to Dewar for right now.
Assisted by number 22, Dallas Gerads. Dewar from Gerads.
Gerads with the single assist on the play. And that one might stand because, again, it might have been redirected in by one of the inadvertent sticks.
Players,
yep. Toomey on his backhand flips one wide.
And that's a goal Nolan Kent, I don't think, could have done anything about.
Smith for McNeely. Mavericks will set up here with a little over 5 left in the first. Pass ahead for Napravnik. We heard downstairs
yes.
they might give it to Spooner, and so we'll.
I mean, that looks like what you see on TV, that it's 11 with the deflection, but it happens awful quickly here.
Yep. We might have to wait till
Yes.
intermission, but again, as Dan mentioned, it's still a 1-0 lead. And here comes the nation's leading goal scorer, Griffin Loughran, and then Sandlin nicely just takes him out of the play. Smith for Toomey.
Ooh.
Toomey takes a big hit, but the Mavericks still with puck possession. Smith unable to control that, and Toomey gets dropped yet again on the play.
Not exactly sure how that's not interference.
Hookinson left off here. Carroll will dump it in the zone. Kent stips one away there as Rivera was after it. Rivera now and Vesio in the corner. Rivera behind the net. Owen clears ahead now. Scheid. Smolik for Dewar. Dewar trying to work through some traffic. Rivera with some traffic in front of him. We're going to have a penalty coming up. It's going to be a tripping call on Dewar. And we will take a break, come back. Our first power play opportunity tonight. Mavericks on top, 1-0. We will take a look, we believe, at the interference call against Walker Dewar, and it was right there on that hit near the faceoff circle. So the Mavericks a man down for the first time again last night, 1 for 7. Northern Michigan with the man advantage, and they also gave up a power play goal. Mavericks now with 5 on the season, and they're going to whistle that down with a hand pass.
Now, that's such an easy call on the interference. I mean, he drops a shoulder into a guy without the puck, clearing away for a teammate, and it's just not allowed.
Now, last night there were a couple calls that you and I we questioned. There's no doubt about that, but that one we're both in agreement with.
Yep, that's pretty easy.
Off the draw over to the far side, and Sorensen, who sends one wide. This will come all the way out of the zone. French back for a look.
Minor penalties been assessed to the Mavericks, number 17, Walker Dewar, at 16:22 of the first.
Newhouse to the near side. Connor Mackey easily can send that down. You were talking last night how deep these guys come in.
I'm really interested how deep their defenders are when they're coming up on the rush.
I mean, there's 2 guys back there.
Yeah, they're way back.
And easily turned right around, and that's in on net. Spun away, although Lutz will get to the race. Lutz looking for a potential trailer shorthanded. Now Rivera. He'll just take a little bit of punishment, take some more time off the clock. Oh. And then Rivera trying to get away from one of the defenders on the play. If he had the puck, got away from him, and then he got away, and they went to net.
Not exactly sure if they were looking for a penalty. If they're looking for a penalty off the officials on that, I don't see where the penalty be.
I'm going to take the face-off outside on the dot in front of the Wildcats bench.
And I would agree that's where it should be. I know he's not arguing for a face-off in his own zone.
True. French and Nardi. Loughran plays it back into the zone. DeMay. Still 55 seconds now left on the power play opportunity as it's dumped in. Hookinson will get there first and send it down. Very good penalty kill here for the Mavericks. Blue left off for DeMay, chipped away from him, and a loose puck picked up by Lutz. Mavericks on the penalty kill coming into the weekend. We're in third place in the country. Good on all but 10 of the opponent's 160 opportunities. It'll be right around 90%. Smith with the bouncing puck, and that one is going to be played with the hand, and they whistle it down and take it outside the Maverick defensive zone.
It's interesting to watch their defenders circle back around as their forwards are moving up. There's such a gap between the two lines that the Mavericks have had a pretty easy opportunity.
And be sure to check out SportPic's website for all your Minnesota State
to get the puck and knock it away from them. So it's kind of interesting. It seems to me that they should probably be up about halfway as far from what we've seen other teams do. And the Mavericks just haven't had any trouble at all stopping this because they're really coming in 3-on-5.
Craighead left off now. Dewar is out of the box, so we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Blue up on top, gets the feed, sends it wide of the net, and it's tipped away by Dryden McKay, and McNeely will carry for the Mavericks ahead for Dewar. Dewar after it along with Blue. Spooner trying to feed one back for Walker Dewar. Scheid is on the far side for Minnesota State. Dewar again.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
Dewar now behind the net. Looks for a wraparound, throws one up high, and Kent is there for that save, and he'll hold on for a face-off.
A little bit of extracurriculars here.
It'll be interesting to see if that develops more throughout the night, because quite easily this could be a semifinal contest in the playoffs.
Right here in Mankato.
Indeed. Yes, you're mocking me a bit because I was trying to do the math, and I was using my St. Clair, Minnesota math to try to figure out, okay, how many points and where we'd be at. My calculation told me that if the Mavericks win tonight, that would virtually give them home ice for the first 2 weekends. And you were quickly just, I don't care. It's all about 11 points and getting to the championship.
Any combination of 11 points, won or lost by the Beavers, and the Mavericks win the WCHA, and they host all the way through.
In other words, it's all about the championship or nothing in your eyes.
It's always been that way.
Van Unen left off for Newhouse.
Not playing for second place, Don.
Well, I'm not. I'm just nothing else trying to figure out what my month of March could look like. Last year, you and I got together 4 straight weekends. People were starting to talk. I mean, we were here for a lot of hockey.
Yes, we were.
It was a lot of fun, and we'd love to do it again. Low angle shot there by Charlie Gerard is up over the crossbars. Molik will hold and send it down low. Volton
turned out to be way better for the conference.
Toomey with the shot. And yeah, Nolan Kent will make that play.
The conferences that have gone to home tournaments rather than going to a site have mostly been very happy.
Not even night and day in the WCHA, because we were looking at, going to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they were drawing, a few thousand, but in a setting of near 10,000 plus, it didn't mean a whole lot here.
Well, and you're losing money at those times.
Yeah, because you're paying rent.
Yeah.
Here, that place was jazzed in here last year. We got really excited the last couple minutes. Race for the puck, and McKay thought about coming out. Oh, what a great play. Connor Mackey lifts the stick as Loughran was looking for a chance there really late in the period with that. It was a beautiful defensive play.
That's why he's going to get paid to play this game one day.
My goodness, great play, and the Mavericks get the lone goal of the period. We think now it's been awarded to Jared Spooner. We will validate that. That and more coming up here. First intermission, Mavericks are on top 1-0 on a Maverick hockey weekend.
Downtown Mankato, where the score is now 1-0. Your Minnesota State Mavericks are leading the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. I'm Marissa Voss, and I'm joined by first goal scorer of the night, number 11, Jared Spooner. Jared, as I said in the introduction, first goal scorer of the night. How important is it to take that lead and get some momentum?
Yeah, the momentum's huge, especially at home, and so yeah, Doozy made a great play off the rush there and just put it on my tape and he's in the back of the net, so great play for him. Great play by him.
There's going to be a definite pushback, and you guys knew that from the Wildcats. How good can you contain them defensively throughout this game?
Yeah, they're a good team. We got to keep them on the outside and just keep getting our bumps, and good things are going to happen.
Thanks, Jared. Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Coming back from break, we're going to be sending it up to the booth where Don Westfall will sit down with head coach Mike Hastings to discuss tonight's game and what they got to do to come out with a sweep. Stay tuned, guys.
Hastings, and again, coach, last night 7-3 win. A big night of scored, obviously. 11 guys in the scoring column, a number of guys who got multiple points in the contest. Great way to start off the weekend.
Yeah, it was. I thought off to a good start in the first period, scoring the first goal in the first couple of minutes. Lots go. Charlie Gerard finds them, get the crowd into the game. We've got some jam, then we go to the box. And I think we're fortunate a little bit last night when we go to the times against a team like this. To give up one power play goal, we were fortunate. I thought our penalty killers did a good job, but I thought any time that momentum started to go to the other, we answered, and I think that was very important to try and quell that momentum going to their side, and it was a big win for us.
The fact that the goal, basically you scored twice within 30 seconds after they had scored, that type of a momentum shift is huge in a game like that.
It is, and when you start about trying to, anytime there's a face-off at center ice after a goal, the ball goes up in the air and it's momentum, and can you get that back from them, or did they? And I thought that was very big for us last night because it didn't get our crowd mute. They didn't get disengaged in the game. We came back and pushed twice and scored inside 30 seconds, and I thought it just ignited the crowd and kept everybody into it.
Jared Spooner getting 2 goals out of him. One of those guys that, especially deeper into the season here, with on the cusp of the playoffs, that kind of production on number 11 is going to be a good sign for you.
It is, and Jared's a guy that does things right all the time, whether it's at the rink, whether it's in the weight room, whether it's in the classroom. Phenomenal teammate. He's prepared for those types of moments, and plus 18 on the year for us, so he's somebody that does a good job being able to go out and protect leads and do all the dirty work. He takes a lot of D-zone face-offs. He did again tonight, but to see him finish the way that he did, scoring a power play goal, coming back and having the answer goal to get us up again before we leave that first period, I think he just had an incredible impact on the game last night before him.
I want to be delicate with this question, and I know you're going to be delicate in your answer. The brunt of the question is, in a game when the penalties are being questioned by the players and stuff on the ice, how do you as a coach try to work through that adversity? You can't let that take over the game. You have to maintain composure and things like that. I don't discuss that kind of stuff at intermission or on the bench, but you can't let those types of decisions by the guys on ice and the stripes dictate what's going on. You guys, as you mentioned, they had 7 power play opportunities for you guys to put up a 7-3 win. Pretty remarkable given that.
And yeah, to answer your question, we do talk about it. We try to address it and try and make sure we focus on the things that we control, which is our attitude and how do we handle adversity, how do we handle some success. And last night, all of us, including myself, at times got wrapped up into that, and it was, we had some step up and kind of calm things down. I thought Nicky Rivera did a good job of that. Dallas Gerads, even though he was over on the other side of the rink a little too much, scores a power play goal. we're going to have to manage that a little bit better tonight if we want to have a good outcome.
We thought about maybe making a seat up with us for spending some time with us on that side, but things straighten out. Tonight's contest. We knew that Northern Michigan was going to come out physical last night. Tonight, I think they might come out and throw everything at the kitchen sink. This is a huge game for them in trying to get home ice advantage for at least a couple of weekends of the playoffs.
Well, and there's implications as far as the pairwise standings. They play Bemidji next weekend. You know, if we find a way to get it done tonight, we create quite a bit of separation. So, yeah, it's the task at hand. They're going to come out with their best. We're going to have to go out and establish ourselves in the first 10 minutes of the game and try and not create their offense, whether that's going to the box and pucks over, manage ourselves coming out of our end and make sure that we make them defend as much as possible and try to get the game to our pace. And if we can do that, I think the scales tip to our side. If we don't, I think it goes to Northern.
Sounds good. That's Maverick head coach Mike Hastings here on a Maverick Hockey Weekend. Down in Westfall, Dan McCarger back in downtown Mankato. Flow Hockey TV and a Maverick Hockey Weekend where the Mavericks, after a 7-3 win last night, are on top here after one period of play, 1-0. Dan McCarger, I think we might have a couple looks at what is at this time officially a goal to Walker Duer, but I think we have evidence that would indicate else.
Yeah, as we thought, Jared Spooner deflects this puck in. You'll get another look at it here. Walker Duer officially on the score sheet at the moment at 13:35 with his third of the season. As you see it right there, Jared Spooner deflected in. It's on the sheet at the moment, Duer from Gerard and Spooner, but that's going to get changed to Jared Spooner from Gerard and Duer. Shots on goal, 11-8, 21-8 attempts. Seen no penalties for the Mavericks so far, 0-1 for Northern Michigan. And faceoffs are being won at this moment, 10-7 by the Wildcats. Anchorage up on Bowling Green in the second. Tech wins over Lake Superior State 4-3 in overtime. Yet to come, Alaska and Alabama. Cornell leads Colgate in the second, 3-1. Minnesota up 2-1 in the third period now. And Penn State beat Ohio State 6-3 tonight. There's your standings as we go into play tonight, Don. And Mavericks with the win tonight cut their magic number down to 8 if they win.
But no pairwise yet. We haven't seen those yet this year. And the Mavericks, really, it's never been in doubt.
No. Now, the Mavericks are in the tournament. If they lose the rest of the games and get knocked out in the first round of the NCAA tournament, they'd still be in. Now, they would lose the number 1 seed. Right now, they're sitting with one of the 4 number 1 seeds with the pairwise. But there's a lot of hockey left to be played.
Dryden McKay and the Mavericks coming back to the ice. Dryden McKay only 5 shots on goal in that first period. But I distinctly remember a fantastic save he made with his right blocker.
Yes, he kicked one out, and that was at the time a big play. And we may remember that at the end of the game. If this ends up a close game, that one made a difference.
Again, we are off next weekend. So are the Mavericks, for that matter. And then we're back in 2 weeks when Alabama Huntsville travels north to take on the Mavericks. It's our last regular season game. Mavericks close out the regular season then the following weekend at Bemidji State. And then
that your wife is very happy that next Friday night you're not working, Valentine's Day.
Yes, if I told you what we were going to be doing, you wouldn't believe it.
Well, now you have to tell us.
I'm going to a fish fry and going to play some cards.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly. You know, in a younger year, maybe I'd be worried about getting a reservation on a Valentine's on a Friday night.
No. But now on a fish fry. No.
Yeah, no. And hopefully it's appropriately coded, shall we say?
Yes.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'll be a good time. Mavericks with McNeely ahead for, then Sandlin takes a serious shot into the board.
He got whacked pretty good.
Yeah, in fact, he's going to bring about a penalty. Right out of the gate, and it's going to be a cross-checking call. And that one's going to go against, is it Van Unen? I mean, if we had a look at that, I mean, you could just see his mug right up against the glass.
He got whacked really good. And he's over the bench now. He looks like he's okay, but that one hurt. Talking it over here. Here, we'll get a look at it right here. Boy, yeah, that's bad. They're discussing this. I don't know if they're going to take a look at it or not. I think they might. they are going to take a peek here. Oh, yes, they just had. Yeah, we're going to take a look here.
They just had to get Van Union out of the box so that they could take a look at it on the replay.
Well, when we looked at it, this is interesting. I'm intrigued by whether this goes 5 or not. I think I would have no problem with it being a 5-minute major here.
I don't know if the discussion maybe at the intermission among the Wildcats and the coaching staff is we need to take this to the next level with physical play, but
yeah, but this is one where you go, he's down low and you plant him in the boards. You got to look at it there. He didn't finish as much as he could have, I will say that. But the way you stop hits like this is by calling it every time. Now, I don't know if they will or not. And I'm not going to go crazy one way or the other if they do or don't call it, but that's one that we've seen ones less egregious than that called for 5 minutes.
that is true.
We've seen some that were way worse than that, not called 5 minutes.
Correct in both aspects.
So
It's hard to.
This is a coin toss. It really is. And to me, I guess if it's a coin toss, whether it should be or not, they usually don't. But I don't know. It's a dangerous hit. Now, like I say, he didn't finish as much as he could have into the wall. And that might be the saving grace. If he doesn't get tossed out, it'll be because of that.
Yeah, you see Sandlin go down rather hard. And again, it was right at us, so we could see kind of the face getting planted into the boards.
5 on the board.
They're going to put 5 and toss him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Grant Petunley can only shake his head on that one.
Well, as I say, though, if you want to get rid of it in hockey, you call that. You just didn't know what they were going to do in that situation, but it's a dangerous play.
That's even a better look at it.
Yeah, that's a much better look at it right there. I mean, it's from behind and dangerous.
Again, our camera's up here. I mean, you could just see the face getting planted, and it's like, wow. So, all right, so
well, here's an enormous 5 minutes in this contest.
Yeah, and Shore is going to occupy the 5-minute major in the box for Van Union. Mavericks don't win the draw, so not a great start here, but we'll see if the Mavericks can put up 1 or 2 and open this thing up.
Serving the penalty is number 15, Caleb Schroeder.
Scheid, Remco, Gerard trying to drive it into the zone, and now to the far side, Scheid will carry it in. Lutz on the near side for the Mavericks. Gerard, Lutz. Mavericks 2 for 5 last night with the man advantage. Charlie Gerard trying to feed one off for Jaremko, but that pass missed. In fact, Dan, one of the 3 that Mavericks didn't score on, they hit the pipe. It was, perfect passing all the way around, and it was, right in the slot. I think it was Toomey who had the opportunity.
And it was the inside of the pipe. I mean, that was about as close as you can come.
Napravnik gets around Blue a little bit, and then it's whacked down the ice by Garrett Klee.
1 minute of the 5 are already gone, and Mavericks really nothing so far.
Mackey, Smith now. I have no idea what they were trying to do that time.
The entry has not been great so far for the Mavericks on this power play.
Smith will go rink wide, much better. Here comes Toomey with a quick shot, and that's into the glove of Kent. And the Mavericks now over a 90-second span. That's their first shot on goal in the 5-minute major.
The biggest thing is to get the first one as early as possible, so you've got a lot of time for the second, third, and fourth one. And make them defend, and so far you haven't made them defend very hard.
Northern Michigan gets this draw and will send it down the ice. Nardi with the win. We talked about him last night being among the nation's leaders as far as face-off wins. He had 14 more. last night. Lutz. Gerard. Now back for Scheid. Scheid carries through the top of the slot. Jaremko trying to feed one down low for Lutz, but that was broken up. Charlie Gerard back for Jaremko. Scheid at the point. Down low, that shot goes off the rebound. Gerard had the opportunity to maybe play it off the back of Kent. Out in front, that was a fan attempt by Van Oshaw. One-timer, and that one skims by the side of the net from Charlie Gerard. Now Scheid tees one up. Rebound was there, but nobody home for the Mavericks, and it's sent down the ice. And we're practically 3 minutes in now.
Reggie Lutz was the closest player to that, but he was just about a step and a half away.
Scheid, Smith. Bouncing puck along the boards, and it's going to be cleared. And here comes Klee. Works against Connor Mackey, shorthanded. Klee gets it again and just plays it back.
Just eating up some time now. It's going to be a big momentum boost here for the Wildcats if they end up killing this off.
Connor Mackey, Napravnik. Toomey, Napravnik one more time. One-timer, and that one's going to go up into the net. And still with 1:20 left, Mavericks will have the face-off in the zone. But really, for the most part, haven't generated a whole lot.
No, they haven't really, and haven't made them have to work terribly hard. A lot of times when you're, killing off a 5-minute major, you see the guys leaving the ice and dog-tired here. And they're not having to do a whole lot. They're not having to move a whole lot, and certainly not facing some high-risk shots even. But there's still 1:20.
Mavericks will get this draw. Carroll, Dewar, McNeely for Lutz. Carroll, Dewar tries to one-time it, but fanned on that. Now McNeely. There's another opportunity. That one is wide on the near side. McNeely, one more time for Dewar, and that wasn't the charm either. McNeely now in the slot will set up Lutz, who blasts one. Wow, he did not miss. And Kent had that save.
Well, down to 35 seconds in the man advantage, and Wildcats are surviving. We may look back at this 5 minutes and say it was a turning point in the game.
Puck is underneath Lutz. Slattery and Carroll digging after it. Lutz will get it back to Smith. Dewar up on top. McNeely with the shot that might have got blocked by some traffic out front. Lutz after it, along with Bellew out in front. Lutz trying to bring it, but it's tipped away from him. And the zone is cleared. Schroeder is out of the box, and it's a 5-minute kill. Good one for Northern Michigan. So we'll see again, as Dan mentioned, what kind of momentum they can generate, because they were just about perfect on that kill, and now they're going to go on a power play. As it might be McNeely going, or Smith. There's a shot through some traffic. Loven out in front, kicked away. Mavericks haven't really touched it yet. Vesio. And they're finally going to say touch. They might. We'll have to see coming back. Mavericks look to be on a penalty kill. See where the Mavericks stand nationally coming into the contest as far as some of their numbers, near the top in just about every offensive category, leading the way in a couple of them.
The goals against took a hit last night.
Gave up 3. That's terrible.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm looking here in Dryden McKay, because an evening ago his goals against was 1.36. It moved all the way up to 1.42, Dan.
That's almost pedestrian.
Now Grant Petolny is questioning something, and I'm wondering if he thinks there should have been 2 penalties called on the play. That's exactly.
I thought there was.
The call was already made at that point.
But then there's another trip that comes up here that they did not call.
Minor penalty has been assessed to the Mavericks number 3, Jack McNeely, at 5:41 of the second period. 2 minutes for tripping.
Yeah, again, I
think McNeely
it could have been called for
twice.
2,
Yeah.
but didn't happen, and the Mavericks maybe catch a break, and now Northern Michigan looking to tie things up. French does a good job breaking up the play and sending it out of the zone. Craighead has it. Lockman with the shot that's blocked off a skate. French. And French will carry and just send it down the ice.
It's going to really change the game when you think about it. You have the 5-minute kill. If you get a power play goal to even it, that's a big swing in just a matter of minutes.
Craighead stood up at the line by Carroll and then sent down by Lutz.
That drop pass wasn't as far as earlier in the game, but the entry still didn't happen.
Reedman, Gontus played back to the point. Blue, Lockren top of the slot. That one kicked aside off a shot from DeMay. DeMay with another shot. That's up high in the air, bouncing puck, and finally cleared to the far side. Blue is right there.
Terwell plays for a goaltender to try to find it, just right up above him.
Blue with the shot. The rebound was there for Lockren, but he couldn't get there as it skipped just in time away from him. And we're down to 22 seconds left in the power play.
Couple of pretty good looks, though.
Rivera chips one into the corner. Reedman. Rivera out in front looking to give an opportunity maybe to French, but never got enough mustard on that shot. McNeely is up. He's ready to get out of the box, which he does right now when we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Along the boards, comes back to the point, and then Sorensen couldn't hold the zone. Gontus gets it into the corner for Raider. Volton is after it. French in after him. Toomey takes a swat at it. Hookinson tries to find some room to clear and does, but this might result in an icing call. And it does as well. Dan, I need to say hi to you from your biggest fan in Sioux Falls tonight.
All right.
I got notification that she's
watching in Sioux Falls tonight.
She is. That flow hockey stuff is amazing.
Yes, it is. She's a good kid. I like her.
She's overcome a lot.
Yes, she is. Yeah, the parenthood.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, the mom is exceptional.
Are you questioning the father aspect?
I'm just saying. We know who the father is.
Yes, yes, we do. That one gets blocked by Rivera up into the net, and so we'll redo another face-off. Nearing the halfway point of the contest. Shots on goal not nearly as frantic as it was tonight. In fact, here in the period, both teams, despite both having power play opportunities, only 3 shots on goal aside.
Well, the Mavericks had 17 shots on goal in the first 10 minutes of the game last night. They've got 14 as we're nearing the midway point of this one. So it's a much more normal type of game that we've seen this year.
Klee for the Wildcats. Smith for the Mavericks. Smith gets this one. He was good last night on face-off. Well, he was good on that all year long, actually. But Yaremko has it taken away by Smith. Now along the boards, picked up by Raider. Shore, and then Carroll steps in to break up the play. Raider chips it into the zone. Carroll. Toomey, rink wide for Smith. Smith and Napravnik. Tipped in. Smith trying to get there. He's looking to see if we might get the benefit of an interference call. Raider. Nice job with Napravnik. Played down Toomey off a skate. Can't control the pass. Klee is back the other way for the Wildcats.
Been a lot of trouble for both teams just controlling the puck tonight. I don't know if they're keeping their head up or they're a little bit concerned about getting hit. But we've seen a number of times where people have been just a little bit off.
Connor Mackey unable to control that pass. Right off the bench, Spooner turns it around for Minnesota State. Nardi, Sorensen off the glass. Oh, wow. McNeely takes the hit. At the point, Vesio. Brewer is after him. Played in on net, and Dryden McKay has seen enough, and McNeely was not thrilled about that hit at all.
And that's a mismatch in size. It'd be like if you and I went at it.
Yeah, but you're scrappy.
I'm scrappy, but you're a foot taller than I am.
Well, I'm brawny. Yeah, here we see that hit coming right at you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tell you what. If that's a bigger, if the reverse is up there, that was clearly a check from behind.
That was Griffin Lochran on that hit.
He didn't crumple, but I mean, you want to talk about checking somebody from behind? He just did it right there.
Off the draw. Loven dumps it into the corner. Reedman with Jaremko on him behind the net. Smolik stands up. Didn't see exactly who that was on the play. It might have been DeMay. Flipped into the zone by Charlie Gerard. Gerard wins the race to the puck. Smolik sends it down low, trying to feed Jaremko, but it's broken up. Swatted into the zone. Smolik takes the hit. Near side for Lutz. Loven behind the net, tries to bring it in front and does. Here's a chance down low, but then that was Gerard going to the ice to block it. Sorensen tees up a shot. That one went off the body of Lutz.
Yeah, that one hurt. He's still stung.
DeMay, Jaremko watching him. Volta, now we're going to get a penalty against. That might have been Jaremko, too long on the hold or interference. Jaremko will catch up to it, and that is brings about the whistle. We'll come back with a Northern Michigan power play. They're down 1-0. Back in downtown Mankato, Jaremko is going to go off on a holding call here, Dan.
Got the arm wrapped around, and you get the stick tangled up a lot of times, and that's all it takes.
He was not thrilled about the call. Most often they're not.
No. He's not the first player who didn't do it.
No, but
Stand up in the box.
Jaremko puts the Mavericks down for the third time tonight, a man. 11:14, the time of the call.
Minor penalty's been assessed to the Mavericks, number 5.
McNeely will be able to pull it out of that scrum and send it down the ice. Newhouse dropped off for Schultz. Rivera catches up to a loose puck and sends it down.
They just don't seem to generate any speed off of the drop pass at all.
There's such a gap that it doesn't create any movement with the 4 guys on the penalty kill.
No, it's interesting, and I'm not sure that if they're running it the way they want to, they're not running it the way other teams do it. Seems like that drop pass is taking too long and coming from too far back.
I mean, they're half the ice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand.
Newhouse.
That's a much more acceptable area to kind of generate some speed.
Craighead back up on top. Lochran had the goal last night. 21 on the season, leads the way for the country as DeMay teed one up, and that was wide. And rebound's going to come all the way down, and not a whole lot going on in this power play opportunity.
Reminds me a lot of the way the Badgers were shooting the puck down a couple goals to the Mavericks this afternoon in the women's game. You got to get shots on net. They attempted a ton of shots. They just didn't get any.
Now that's an interference call on Craighead as French was going to go back to play it. And that'll take care of the last 11 seconds when we're going to go 4-on-4. And then the Mavericks will get a second power play.
almost more of an excuse me interference, but it's an interference nonetheless. So the Mavericks survive here. Now the Maverick player came up and he kind of stopped him with his stick.
Greg knew it right away,
yeah,
but
you can see it like, yeah,
kind of got
one of those deals where he got kind of caught in between.
Yep.
He was going to go for the puck, and then all of a sudden, Maverick player was there, and he knocked him down. It's clearly a penalty.
So the Mavericks, with the draw, even though they're now it's a 4-on-4, but they're in the offensive zone. So if they can win the draw, that will help tremendously as Jaremko is ready to get back into play in 11 seconds.
And get control and hang on to it and just wait.
Off into the side, played back by Smith. Flipped over by Toomey. Now Connor Mackey. Smith and Jaremko climbs back out. Toomey spins away from a check, but then lost the puck, being too tight on the play. And here comes Klee. Klee trying to work past Connor Mackey. And here comes MSU. Dallas Gerads. Gerads and Jaremko, and now Vesio will try to play it along the boards, and he actually puts it up out of play.
Now here's what I'd like to see. That puck is dumped in the corner, and Gerads is going to go for it, and the player sticks a hand out, and that's interference. He stopped him from having a chance. That's the type of thing on the open ice that you'd like to see called. As compared to the interference that was called on the faceoff last night, that was really nothing. That one actually impeded a player in the open ice to go to get a puck in the corner.
Nardi and Jaremko, and Nardi wins this one for Northern Michigan. Mavericks with 1:20. Get it now in the zone. Did not do much with the 5-minute major to start off the second. Van Oshaw tries to one-time a pass. Scheid. Charlie Gerard. Jaremko behind the net. Gerard right along the goal line. Tries to find an angle. Now Scheid. Scheid. Van Oshaw. Whips one wide of the net. Charlie Gerard. Jaremko out in front. There's a loose puck, as that was Lutz who was able to get one shot off, but then the defense quickly collapsed on him.
This game has not been the way I expected it to. I think everybody anticipated a real Donnybrook tonight, and it just has not been that type of game at all.
Toomey. Mackey now on the near side for Dallas Gerads. Mavericks still with now 15 seconds. So one last rush up the ice for Smith, who dumps it into the zone. Dallas Gerads on the far side, left off for Toomey to the point. Mackey and Smith. Dallas Gerads whips one wide over the net. Mackey will get there in time, but Northern Michigan back at full strength. One-timer there, and there's a good look by Toomey, and the save made by Kent. And we'll see if we can't finish off the remainder of the time. 5-on-5. We spent most of this period in odd man situations. Smith lost the puck. Picks it up once again. Gets some help from Hookinson. Played in on net. Dryden McKay has seen enough. He knew he needed a timeout. We'll take it. Thank you, Dryden. 1-0 for Mankato on a Maverick Hockey Week. Don Westfall and Dan McCarter back here on Flow Hockey TV. Maverick Hockey Weekend. You see 4.5 minutes remaining in the second. Still 1-0. That goal coming back halfway through the first on a goal that's unofficially still at this point. Well, officially has been credited to Walker Dorr. We still think Jared Spooner got it. He thought so as well. That's what he told us during the interview. But we can only go with what's officially on the books. Flipped all the way down, and icing call here against Northern Michigan.
Been tweeted saying that I mentioned Donnybrook, and they're wondering how many times I could say Donnybrook during the rest of the game, but I wouldn't think the term Donnybrook would come up again. Unless it became a Donnybrook all of a sudden.
Is there a little money on this, like a fundraising effort?
I don't. I'm for it if there is.
Okay.
but it has not been a Donnybrook type game so far.
Wow. I'm
at 5.
I'm just rolling them off. Off the draw, Door down low with some traffic. Nobody can get to the puck. Spooner had a shot, follows up, and then it goes just wide of the net. Door, low angle shot, and Dallas Gerards with the tip, and that's up into the net, but right off the draw. Good look there.
Little excitement broke out all of a sudden.
How about that? I had to raise my voice inflection. It's been kind of a slow little period here.
You know, there's a good crowd on hand tonight. There were not a lot of tickets available.
Yeah, we should be up over 5.
I would think so.
Because
but they haven't been real loud. They've been waiting for something to happen for quite a while again.
Door with the drop pass, but that's right onto the stick of Craighead, but he can't clear because Carroll makes a nice play.
He made a really nice play to keep the puck in the zone.
Volton. Carroll left off for McNeely, rink wide to Door. Door just gains the red line, then put one in off the official. Now it's dumped in on a second attempt. Philip Ballou, head for Brandon Schultz. Luke Volton, Darian Craighead. Hookinson in the corner, trying to dig it out. Mavericks will carry now, Josh French. French still with it to the far side. Dallas Gerards. That turned into a nice rush up the ice, and Gerards with a good shot, but Kent, much stronger night without question for Kent, and I'm sure more of what...
some of it has to do with 18 shots on goal, where
True.
they had 17 through the first 10 minutes of the game. Now 3:01 to go. The Mavericks have 18 shots in the through the second period.
I think this last night he gave up a couple, and the second and third weren't great, and you could just tell he was fighting the puck all night.
Yeah, you usually don't see a wrister shorthanded from the blue line beat a goaltender.
No. Off the draws, Molik will get there. Played to an open corner for Jaremko. Trying to work past Lutz. Lifted out to center ice by Nardi. Vesio. Here's a chance for the Wildcats and a follow-up, and it's sent wide on the second attempt. Nardi fanned the first time, was able to get a second shot off, and then sent that one wide.
Yeah, Nardi can't believe it. Now, this should be a tied game right now. He had an open net and couldn't get a stick on it. Joseph Nardi has 8 goals on the season. I know he's thinking I should have had 9. I'll take that back. That's a 6, not an 8.
No,
that should have been his 7th of the season.
Yeah. Another draw one. Newhouse with the shot, and that's right into the belly of...
Now the Wildcats, Donna, are in great position. They're down 1-0 on the road. They came in figuring they had to win 1 game this weekend. They've got their opportunity here. But so far, Dryden McKay has only had to make 11 saves.
Yeah, you know, last night twice they were able to cut in the Maverick lead, but then as we talked to both coaches, one of the key aspects of the game last night was the fact that both times the Mavericks were able to come back and get a goal that nullified that momentum within 30 seconds. Puck possession, Rivera will just tap it out. Ballou is after it with Sandlin, cleared out of there. French will come back to help out.
I think we should just do the Dryden McKay shutout thing tonight. That's the way to do it. It's a lot easier.
Naughty, naughty, out in front trying to feed Rivera. Remember, fans, Dan said that I did not. You're only shaking your head at me, Dan.
No, it's
doesn't even bother you.
Not a bit.
You're so confident. It's just.
It has nothing to do with what is said during a game, whether a shutout happens or not.
I understand that. Yes. I'm on your side. But I know a bunch of guys that are down there with the yellow sweaters on might have a difference of opinion.
There's 22 minutes to go in a hockey game yet. I'm just saying, let's get the shutout. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to do that.
All right.
I mean, it's like worrying about a no-hitter when you're in the second inning.
Well, now, last night you spoke up, and then all of a sudden Northern Michigan came back with a goal and had the power play. And you just exude confidence.
Throw all convention to the wind.
You know, it's just outstanding. 2:03 left to go here as the officials setting things up for the face-off.
This isn't our first rodeo, you know.
No. Smith wins the draw. Toomey trying to get a shot off, but by that time the defense had collapsed on him. Nardi carries it out. Connor Mackey. He'll carry for the Mavericks, flip it out to center ice, a little bit too far for Smith, and now everybody's offside on the play. Napravnik and Toomey have to clear, and they don't, as it's carried out by the Wildcats. Played down low and blocked by Mackey. He's now shied. Napravnik, Connor Mackey ahead for Toomey. Toomey ridden out along the boards, knocked off the puck at least. Smith trying to feed Napravnik. Caleb Shore is back the other way. McNeely comes back for the Mavericks and play it along the boards. Julian Napravnik. Napravnik still with it, and then a really nice defensive play by Ballou to turn that around. Here comes Craighead down to the final minute of the second. Ballou on his backhand brings it out in front, still down loose. Puck on the ice. Craighead. Vesio with that shot that gets blocked, and now the Mavericks will carry. Spooner just flips it in, and the Mavericks are going to get a line change.
He's kind of picked up the last minute or so.
Dallas Drads out in front. Oh, Spooner had a really good look, but a great defensive play. I think that was Blue on it. Body's starting to fly a little bit more, if nothing else, setting up an interesting third period if we can get to the last 20 seconds. Philip Ballou chipped into the zone and actually out of play off the stick. I believe that was off the stick of DeMay, and we'll see where the faceoff comes.
Walker Dewar with a big hit along the Maverick bench. I know his teammates enjoyed it. 15.6 seconds to go. Again, the Wildcats only down one. We've seen so many times this year, Don, where in the third period you expect a real great fight by the opponents, and they put up 3 shots in the first 10 minutes.
You know, we've mentioned so many times this year, Dan, just the Mavericks. And again, they're leading the country in goals against on the season, but they just collapse.
The team defense, they just crush you.
Played with either a hand pass or a high stick. In any event, it's going to be one more face-off outside the zone.
Win the face-off, push it down to the other end. Let's get into the second intermission here.
Newhouse will take it, fire it in. McKay does not want to face off in the zone. Good play. He just gets rid of it. And that'll bring us to the end of the second period of play. No scoring there in the second, so the lone goal of the contest so far still stands. Maverick scoring back at the 13:35 mark. In the books, it goes down as a goal at that time by Dewar from Spooner and Gerads. And that's where we stand after 2 periods of play, with the Mavericks on top by a score of 1-0. We'll take a break, come back, talk to one of our Maverick players. That and more here in the second intermission. It's a Maverick hockey weekend from Mankato.
Mankato, where the score remains the same, 1-0 between your Minnesota State Mavericks and the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. I'm Marissa Voss, and I'm joined by junior forward number 16, Reggie Lutz. Reggie, this game has been physical since puck drop. How does that physicality affect the flow of the game?
You know, it's kind of chippy play, so just got to play between the whistles, kind of our goal. So can't get sucked into the chippiness, just playing between the whistles.
So you guys have been out shooting NMU so far in this game. How can you widen the gap in the third?
Then just getting that, keep getting pucks and buys of the net. I know it's kind of cliche, putting pucks on net, but I think if we keep putting pucks on net, we'll get one.
So you and NMU have been heavy on the penalty box minutes. What can you do to minimize that?
I think just moving our feet, eliminating the stick penalties, and just, like I said, moving our feet and trying to stay out of the box.
Thanks, Reggie. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
Coming back from break, one of our own, Don Westphal, sits down with head coach of NMU to discuss tonight's game. Stay tuned, guys.
In Mankato, we'll spend a few months right now with Northern Michigan head coach Grant Petonli. And coach, tonight a 7-3 loss. I know that you wanted your team to come out. You talked about physicality quite a bit. In that aspect of the game, did you get what you wanted out of your team, or are you going to be looking for even a little more tonight?
Yeah, we You know, I did think that we had some physicality, but nothing came from it. And, you know, just running around and finishing hits, sometimes that just, you end up expending your energy. We had a second guy in there quicker. Number one, to stop the puck defensively. We didn't do a good enough job of that. And then conversely, offensively, to extend the play. And over time, if you're going to score, there's two ways to do it, execution or fatigue. And, you know, we didn't do either of those well enough last night.
Momentum, such a key aspect of this game. The fact that on 2 occasions, 2 teammates scored, the Mavericks come right back and score twice within 30 seconds. Those are tough goals to overcome.
Those were tough goals, you know, for a lot of reasons. It was the next shift, and 2, it was shots that I do feel our goalie would like to have back. And, you know, just the nature of the beast, when your goalie lets those in, it deflates the bench. And obviously that had an impact on the game last night.
Goaltending, no question. Even these 2 individuals would say that they didn't play as well as they did. You made a goaltending change during the game, but obviously there was more going on than just goaltending at that point as well.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, but the reality of it is there's 4 goals that went in that he probably wish he would have had back. And what happens in a game is when you end up in that position, you want to continue to push and you want to continue to play. The ice just ends up getting tilted, and you know, you can't allow a team that has that ability to score on their own, 1, to get goals like that, and then 2, to have extended zone time, because you're just not quick enough on them. Because the moment they start getting the cycle going and their D get active, then you're in trouble.
I guess more of my reference was the fact it wasn't just the goaltending play you're seeing at the time. Defensively, there were other things going on as well that needed help in this one. So you have the quick turnaround tonight, opportunity for still 3 big points out there, and the fact you're trying to cut it with Bemidji State, with them at home next weekend. What changes tonight have you made to try to bring about a better chance to get that win?
You know, I think the first thing, last night beat you tonight, and that's the first thing that we have to make sure that our mindset's right on that. And hey, coming into the weekend, you know, the reality is we knew it wasn't going to be easy to get a game. You know, they haven't lost 2 since 2015, so to think you're going to get 2 is really foolish. So got to park last night's game and get ready for tonight, and moved a couple guys around, a couple things you saw on video that you can be better at, but you know, it's the old line, just be better at what you do.
All right, is Northern Michigan head coach Grant Petonli here on the Maverick Hockey Weekend. Mankato on a Saturday night of hockey, where the Mavericks, after 2 periods of play, on top of Northern Michigan by a score of 1-0. And Dan, earlier this afternoon, the Maverick women were in action against top-ranked and defending national champion Wisconsin. And the Mavericks, one of the better performances they've had for probably a few seasons, outshot in the contest, but on 3 goals to open up the scoring. As there you see Charlotte Akrovic with the first of 3. Tristan Truax will come back and take advantage of a rebound off her own shot. That was the first period. The second, or actually the third period, the Mavericks here get a 2-on-1, and Emily Anthony finishes off the pass from King. You're going to see a one-timer and a 5-on-3 power play by Sophie Shirley, but that came late in the game. And then the Mavericks knock off the top-ranked team in the country, ending a 28-game losing streak. And obviously, especially the fact you're knocking off Wisconsin, your former Olympic teammate, you know, and Coach Johnson from Wisconsin, a huge win for the Mavericks, no question.
Yes.
It was a big one, no question about that one. Dan concurs. And again, we congratulate Coach Harrington and the Mavericks on their win 3-1 over Wisconsin. We'll take one more break and come back with the third period from Mankato. So which one is Sasquatch, Dad?
I think it's the one in the darker maroon there.
I didn't know if it was the one in the white jersey or not. There he is, Sasquatch.
Yes. I didn't realize Sasquatch could talk.
Some of the in-game promotions here from downtown Mankato.
Jeff Lang with the promotions.
We're in the second intermission, nearing the end of that with a 1-0 score for the Mavericks. Don Westfall and Dan McCarger, and we'll bring you a couple looks at the Maverick goal.
Well, it's credited to Walker Dewar on the score sheet still. But Jared Spooner said, oh, I got it. And it probably takes till after the game to get that one changed, but it's Dallas Gerads, Jared Spooner, and Walker Dewar in some combination at 13:35 of the first period. And that's the way we stand after 2. 18-13 shots on goal. You see the attempts there. Block shots 13-4. Both teams over on the power play, and the Mavericks trailing in the faceoff battle 20-17. Out of town, Bowling Green over Alaska Anchorage in the third. Tech beats Lake Superior State 4-3 in overtime tonight. Alaska downs Alabama Huntsville. Cornell is leading Colgate 4-1 in the third. Michigan State came from behind and down the Gophers 4-2. And Penn State beat Ohio State 6-3. That's the final in the Big Ten tonight. For the Mavericks to come back on the ice here, Don.
You mentioned the Cornell score. That, until last night, had been the only team Northern Michigan had lost to here in 2020. Their only loss since losing to the Mavericks at home back mid-December. And of course, at that time, Cornell was top-ranked. And the only loss until the Mavericks put one on them last night. And they're 20 minutes away again here tonight. And again, with so much yet to be played, Coach Patulny with the realization, they don't go to this depth, but with Bemidji State at home next weekend, guys, we have an opportunity here right now to get a split out of this series and take 3 points and a lot of momentum into that series.
No question about it. I expect a tremendous period by the Wildcats. That doesn't necessarily mean that they can get this thing tied up even, but they're going to have to come out and go just crazy for 20 minutes of hockey and see if they can get it tied up somewhere along the way.
Mike Hastings and his club, again, looking for another WCHA regular season championship.
I think it's a matter of when, not if, for the Mavericks.
We hope to be able to bring you that celebration in 2 weeks.
The likelihood is very good, especially if the Mavericks win tonight. If they finish this one off tonight, the Mavericks should, in all likelihood, wrap it up when they're home 2 weeks from now.
Again, the Mavericks with Alabama Huntsville in the building on that weekend. We encourage you, if you haven't yet, to get down to the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center. Check out some live WCHA action. And then the Mavericks, we also know, will be home after then a season-ending trip to Bemidji State. The Mavericks will be home and taking on what we hope would be the ace-seeded team then the first weekend of the playoffs, March 6, 7, and 8 if necessary. Of course, the following weekend, semis at the top-seeded teams remaining, with the championship the following week. That's a single game, and be hard-pressed to match what we saw last year when the Mavericks came back to knock off Bowling Green. But a little bit of work yet to be done before that point, but we nonetheless want to give you the information needed if you're looking ahead and want to get down and watch out for one of the best hockey teams in the country, ranked third right now as we move into this third period.
We had visitors down right at the end of the intermission there.
Distinguished visitors, much more important than we are.
Dave Smith, one of the original players for the Mavericks on their first ever hockey team, and the first ever goaltender, Bill Osborne. I met them this afternoon, and they stopped by to say hello.
Dave Smith honored last night as our veteran of the game, and again, Don Burrows, his former coach, sent us some information about all the aspects of military service that Dave provided our country and some of the honors he's won, and certainly a proud alum of Minnesota State.
Pretty impressive, both of them, and it sounds like Hockey Day in Minnesota, they're coming back next year.
Jaremko, Lutz. Somebody lost a stick out there. Lutz trying to dig it away along with Charlie Gerard, still held in at the line at least. Lutz just to an open wing. McNeely down low. Charlie Gerard trying to feed the slot. Jaremko unable to keep his edge, and then it's just going to be fired off the glass by Nardi to at least relieve that pressure.
Fans trying to get a cheer going, MSU, but so far not a lot of excitement for the fans, but it's a good close hockey game.
Napravnik. Toomey with a shot that was blocked off the leg of Jaremko up into the net.
Well, we're 2 minutes in to the third period, and the Wildcats have no shots on goal. We've seen this so many times, Don. You get 5, 6, 7 minutes in, and you're trailing a goal, and you haven't got a single shot on goal against the Mavericks, and they go, you can't come back. They just make it so difficult because they possess the puck so much, and then when they're not possessing, they're not giving you any room to have the puck on their stick anyway. So It's pretty impressive what this team does to everybody that we've seen. If the Wildcats are somehow going to get this tied up, it's going to take a gargantuan effort. We know that.
Well, they certainly can ill afford to go down 2.
Right.
Toomey overskates the puck. Newhouse leads out the charge. Dryden McKay just taps it into the corner. Matt Loven over there. Left off now for Ty Reedman. Newhouse. That gets blocked out front. Napravnik cleans up on the rebound and lifts it out to center ice. Sorensen sends it in. Turned around by Scheid. Carroll just takes some time to reset, and the Mavericks will play it through to an open wing. Philip Ballou is trying to enter the zone, but a little bit of traffic there, so they have to regroup. Shore dumps it in. They're going to say offsides. Wildcats hadn't cleared. Now they do, and Carroll has it behind his own net. Long lead pass up ahead for Rivera. Kent fires it along the boards. Mavericks will turn things around. Connor Mackey. Blue off the boards. McNeely. Connor Mackey flips it in. Kent is out for a skate. Doer has it hop over his stick. Near side, Caleb Shore. Volton and McNeely after it. McNeely is able to pull it away, taps it ahead for Walker Doer, who flips it out. Spooner at the line. They're going to say offside. We just mentioned the name of Spooner, and Dan, sounds like they just made the change on the goal, giving it now to Spooner, so it would read Spooner from Doer and Gerard's.
Spooner's 9th and Doer Walker's 8th and Gerard's 14th. But the score stays the same.
Jared Spooner, 3-goal weekend,
Yep.
Not bad at all.
So you're 4 minutes into the period and you haven't got a shot on goal yet. And you're one of the top scoring teams in the country.
Played down low, still loose. There's a shot on goal and covered up right away as Mavericks collapse on the play. That was Brandon Schultz looking for an opportunity on the rebound.
Not much more.
Officials in there pretty quickly to clear that up, and we'll get
Just look at that. Throughout the lineup down, the height difference and the size difference. And the Mavericks, this is so true with so many teams that they play. They have a distinct size advantage that you just don't see as many 5'7", 5'8" players on Maverick teams as you do on other teams.
Off the draw, the Mavericks will control. Here they come with numbers. Rivera, he's got Sandlin on the far side. Rivera, and then I think he lost a little bit of puck possession as Newhouse came over to play the body.
Coming in 4-on-1, you'd like to get a shot on goal.
Ballou into the corner for Nardi. Played past Craighead. Uremko stood up by Rivera. Hukinson will go off the glass out of the zone. Fired right back in on net. Smolik has it out of the glove of Dryden McKay. Ooh, long lead pass there for Charlie Gerard, just misfires. Charlie Gerard, then Lutz turns one around. Gerard loose puck. Oh, it's down low. Jaremko trying to slam it in. That whole play, Dan, created by the effort of Charlie Gerard, doesn't result in a goal, but a good scoring opportunity. We're still 1-0 in Mankato.
Let's stick to what we know best.
It's Maverick hockey weekend. It's a Saturday night, and it's a 1-0 Maverick lead as we're 5 minutes gone here in the third period of play. Taking a look at what's coming up. We've mentioned it a few times, but the Mavericks, again, 8 points ahead of the Beavers in the standings. A split a few weeks ago here in Mankato. Bemidji State will be hosting Northern Michigan next weekend, and of course both teams in Minnesota meet up in an in-state rivalry to end the regular season the 28th and 29th. And as we've mentioned before, being greedy, we like to see championships won here in Mankato, and we hope the Mavericks have it wrapped up against Alabama Huntsville in a couple weeks.
So the way to do that is the Mavericks win tonight. They take the magic number from 11 down to 8, and then have Northern Michigan beat the Beavers at least once next weekend. The Mavericks can take care of it at home from there.
McNeely with the shot that was blocked out with the skate stuck out by Slattery.
It was up there forever.
Here's a chance the other way, 2-on-1. Slattery with the shot, and that one a little off the post.
That was close.
Okay, they might want to, they'll probably take a look at it.
I'm sure they will. I thought the same thing you did. I thought that was in.
I was concerned by the play that Connor Mackey made, as there's one opportunity to follow up there is going to go hopping wide. Mackey jumped up in the air to kind of hold the zone, and when he didn't come down with the puck, that's what resulted in the odd man rush the other way.
Well, when there's a stoppage, they'll take a look at that. I thought it was in the back of the net. Now, we might very well be wrong, but we may be going way back on this. Mavericks killing some time otherwise, though.
Well, now we have official notification from the other side of the arena, so that really makes it doubly official, if there is such a thing. Sound like Barney Fife there on that. Played through the slot. Oh, that was one of the Mavericks going for a spill, and Smith in the corner. Lewin tries to just lift one, and that actually goes up into the net. Let's see if we can.
Here.
No, it was post. Wow.
Well, when I saw it live, I was sure that was in the back of the net, but it did not.
Left post. Yep.
Goaltender's friend.
Gontas with a good opportunity right off the draw, was able to work through a bit of traffic and put a backhand on that. Dryden McKay was there, and here's the push we knew was coming. Yes. It just took a couple minutes.
Yeah, it did. Boy, that shot though, the way it came from the angle that we were sitting at and the way it came off, I thought it hit dead back center and came right back out again.
Yeah, I didn't hear so much of that clank we're normally used to hearing.
Right. So we'll take it.
Out of the zone, Newhouse will retreat to the near side for Sorensen. And that one is we have the goal coming
Apparently
off.
the net came off just a hair.
A bit,
You may not even be able to tell it on television, but it's actually off just a hair.
So we will reset.
.21 to go. Shots are 19-17 now. Mavericks with just one shot on goal this period. And the Wildcats with 4 now through 7 minutes.
Nardi and Spooner at it one more time for the face-off. Northern Michigan gets this at the line. Blue is being watched by Dallas Gerads. Spooner steps in. Gerads trying to play it along the boards to clear. Northern Michigan able to hold the line, and then Craighead was trying to make a play on a shot or a pass and somehow it got away from him. Craighead able to get one there away from Carroll to try to create something, but the Mavericks are able to clear. Race for the puck. Doer gets there, so no icing on the play. Good rush by Walker Doer.
Well, if you're on the Wildcat bench, you just got to be saying, guys, we're right there. You're down a goal is all, and you have to have it. So you got to just keep on bringing it.
Dumped into the zone. Connor Mackey will come back inside. 12.5 left in the third. Rivera. Vesio. Far side for Schultz. Lead pass for Volton. He'll carry into the zone. Rivera and Volton in hard after it. Volton pulls it away. Down low, bounce and tuck controlled there by Jaremko, who dumps it out. Jaremko chipped out of the zone. Lutz is after it. Vesio wins that race. Over to Schultz on the far side.
This ends up being a semifinal matchup in a couple weeks. This could be a heck of a series.
Along the board now Lutz, and he'll just lift it out to center ice. Smith is after it for the Mavericks. Toomey with the stick is able to hold the zone for the Mavericks. Played down for Smith, but it's broken up. Andre Gontus back the other way, and he dumps it in. Dryden McKay now for Scheid. Charlie Gerard taps it ahead. Wildcats now with Sorensen. Carroll and Slattery after it. Carroll does a nice job shutting that check and able to follow through on the play. Out to center ice for Smith. Here comes Napravnik. Drop pass for Carroll. Carroll trying to feed one over to Toomey, who was tied up with Blue on the play. Hukinson down low for Napravnik, and he just missed on a tip attempt.
About a half a step off on that.
Napravnik tees one up that was blocked out front. Toomey is after it along with Klee. Along the boards, Hukinson holds and sends it wide of the net. Wildcats punch it out of the zone, and now Hukinson is after it with Klee. Klee puts on a backhand that's easily turned aside. Once again lifted out to center ice in a race for the puck. And Spooner.
Oh, that's a terrible icing call. Absolutely terrible icing call. That's ridiculous. Jared Spooner won that race. They're going to have to face this off at center ice here, but that's just terrible. That is absolutely awful. Spooner out-hustled him, beat him to the spot. This faceoff has got to be at center ice, and frankly, the whistle should have never been blown in the first place.
This is not a hard discussion.
No.
Well, they do. Yeah, Grant Petolni's shaking his head. So is his counterpart behind the Maverick bench.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whistle that just can't happen.
So at least we take the face-off to the center circle. Almost halfway through the third period of play.
Center ice is better than in your zone, but not much.
Connor Mackey able to drive it in. Doer overskates it. Now McNeely with the shot. Craighead back the other way for Northern Michigan. Spooner able to clear. Here comes Doer, 2-on-2. Doer trying to work the angle against Newhouse, but that's nicely defended. Played out of the zone, and Craighead takes the hit from Doer. Dallas Gerads with a nice job coming back on the play. Jared Spooner fakes one shot, tries to play it out front, but he's forced wide by Ballou. Good play there as well. Zmolik. Lead pass for Rivera. Ooh. Rivera takes the hit from Ballou. Body's starting to fly. So we're down to a little over 9 minutes remaining in the third. Zmolik. Scheid just lifts one off the glass for Sandlin.
Suggest everybody keep your heads up.
Long rebound on the near side by Kent, who to his credit has played much, much better. But as you mentioned, Dad, not necessarily seeing the offensive flurry that he saw last night from this Maverick team.
Mavericks with just one shot on goal this period. And remember, the last 3 Saturdays, the Mavericks have been facing a 2-0 deficit at this time.
Bouncing puck somehow caromed right up between the circles. Lutz has it underneath him, finally poked away, and now Carroll with it. Vesio, Schroer. Lowen being watched by Hukinson. Up on top, held in at the zone, and ooh, high high stick there is actually Jaremko, and one that was Loughran over there for the Wildcats. Nothing happens, and it's still 1-0. Take a look at the next 4 games for the Mavericks to again conclude the regular season. We've talked about it a few times tonight. Our next broadcast on the Maverick Hockey Weekend, the 21st and 2nd. Chargers in town from Huntsville, and then we go up to Bemidji State to close out the regular season. And also need to let you know that there was a slashing penalty called during that last sequence against Northern Michigan. So the Mavericks will go on a power play opportunity here with a little over 8 minutes left.
Beavers at Northern Michigan. Then at UAA the next week, Alaska Anchorage. Then here in the Mavericks up at Bemidji to wrap up the season. So the Beavers have a tough set of 6 games to finish it up.
Gower is gone.
Yep, boy, that nearly took his mask off there.
I thought it might have been Loughran tied up, but it was off 1 digit. And the Mavericks, we'll see if they can't put some distance here in this contest. They could use a goal right now.
Mike Hastings just said, wow. I'm a lip reader. You can tell that one. It's been an interesting weekend, Don.
Mavericks 0 for 2 so far with the extra man on the power play tonight.
I mean, it literally nearly took his helmet off.
Here comes Smith, low angle shot here, plays it out toward the side of the net.
Boy, I'd like to see a shot off that, so you got a chance for a rebound.
One-timer, and that one's really well played by Kent as he got over. Dallas Gerads looked for the short angle shot, but Kent very strong on that play.
Coming in with numbers, and the Mavericks really didn't get off a great shot at all there. Second one was much better. Minute 34 to go on the man advantage. A back-breaking goal could be coming up here.
Jaremko. Nardi's out there. No shock in that for the draw.
Jaremko trying to cheat that left leg out there a little bit.
Mavericks do get the draw. Van Oshaw back for Lutz. Mavericks will get set up. Charlie Gerard. Jaremko, Gerard. Lutz 1-times-1, but that's right into the body of Loughran. Gerard for Jaremko. Out in front, Lutz can't find the handle on that pass. And the Mavericks have to go back all the way into their own zone.
It's been desperation time the last 3 Saturdays for the Mavericks. Be a lot better to get the goal here, and the Mavericks are offside.
Yep, Van Oshaw got trapped by Jaremko on the play, and so we'll take face off. In fact, they're going to call. They're going to call interference. They're going to take Van Oshaw.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, Adeline, you won a prize courtesy.
That's interesting.
We'll see if we can
Fans, thanks for attending tonight's
check that one. I don't know.
It's 5,090.
5,090 tonight.
We'll see coming in.
So you can be a part of the special recognition given to our OFC 3 stars of the game.
I can't negate that one. Take a look at right there. It's Van Oshaw in front. So that'll end that power play opportunity. We're 4-on-4 now for 55 seconds.
Trying to leave the zone so he's not offsides. Ends up going through the player, and they call the interference.
Dallas Gerads with the turnover in the zone. Schultz, but then Gerads comes back nicely to make a play. Mavericks trying to create something with McNeely down low, but Gerads just rethinks that and wants puck possession. Spooner Spooner on top of the zone. Spooner along the boards. Here comes Connor Mackey. That's not a great pass off the stick, and Mavericks are lucky that didn't turn into something a little uglier. Not time for a good drop pass. French, he'll take it into the zone. Puts one through the top of the crease. Now the Mavericks down a man, and they just play it all the way back in the zone. Starting to kill off their 4th power play for Northern Michigan on the night. Still 50 seconds remain in that. Wildcats bring it into the zone. Philip Ballou. Nardi up on top for Craighead. Ballou tees one up. French really got stung on that one, but that's the type of play we're used to seeing out of French, and it's not pretty, but wow, that's an important play. So many times over his career, counted on, and to his credit, Mike Hastings will often mention that as well as stuff you don't necessarily make note of all the time.
Well, the one thing he's told us over and over again is he said after victories, there are more ice bags than after losses most of the time.
Out in front, one-timer, Nardi had it. You heard the save, and Dryden McKay, that was a big one right at the end of that power play opportunity, and Van Oshaw almost creates the turnover the other way as we're down to 4:45 left here in the third. Everybody's back at 5-on-5 hockey.
So really 2 very big saves so far tonight for Dryden McKay. One early on in the first period where he kicked the right leg out, and then that one right there.
And the Napravnik chips one out, and here's an opportunity to race for the puck with Sorensen back. The Napravnik tries to spring it out in front, but runs out of some real estate, still behind the net. Volton off the boards. Gontus feeds one ahead to Volton. Kicked aside by McKay. Loose puck picked up by Schultz. Schultz for Riedman, and then that one is blocked out front by the stick of Napravnik into the net. And we're down to 3:58 remaining. We're down to our last timeout here. Mavericks still holding on to a 1-0 lead. Grant Petolny and the Wildcats still hanging into this contest. No score for them on the board, but they only trail by 1, and we'll see. He just had the clipboard out, what he could draw. And obviously, as we move through the next, couple of minutes, we'll have to make note if the score stays the same. Exactly where Nolan Kent comes onto the net. 21 shots apiece on goal, so a much different contest than last night. And Mike Hastings knew he'd get a better effort from the other club tonight. His team has played rather well itself. Loose puck that Sandlin dumps into the zone. French and Newhouse after it. Now Ballou. Nardi will carry, left off for Craighead. Connor Mackey controls, and he'll take it all the way behind his own net. Played ahead for Sandlin. Sandlin for French. French just takes it into the corner, and the Mavericks start a line change. Ballou, interesting. Kent had his glove up shielding Dallas Gerads on the play.
Put it right in his face. Clock continues to tick.
Slattery lifts one out to center ice. Scheid is there for the Mavericks. Smolik back for Scheid. Doer is into the zone and then drives it behind the net. Along the boards, Lutz will catch up to it and hold for the Mavericks. Vesio in the corner. Wildcats bring it out to center ice by Slattery.
Kent is out of his net away, but we're not even looking at him yet.
Nope. Down to 2:15. We've spent at least 10 seconds there in the corner. Now bouncing puck along the boards. Charlie Gerard gets it out of the zone. Dug away and flipped back in. They're going to say it was played by a high stick, so whistle comes.
Exactly 2 minutes to go. Mavericks waited as long as they could.
And now Kent does come. Well, yep, they are going to get the extra tackle with the face-off in the zone. Neither team has taken a timeout yet.
Interestingly, fans are leaving, Don. It's 1-0, 2 minutes to go. The goalie is pulling their fans who are heading for the exits.
Well, yeah, but if they're parked at the top of the ramp, that's going to take an extra 5 minutes.
Incredible. And it's not one person, it's quite a few people.
Snow's coming, Dan.
Yeah.
Snow.
I don't understand.
Spooner gets this draw, a big win for him. To the far side, chipped out of the zone, bouncing puck again, open net. Spooner with it, tapped ahead. Nardi will turn things around. 6-on-5 with the empty net as Loughran sends it in, and Dryden McKay with the glove save off that shot from Nardi.
Well, I'm going to stay till the end.
Well, you have to.
Oh, that's right.
Coach Hastings won't talk to me after the game. He wants to talk to you. He wants to talk to you on Monday.
Yeah, very true. 9:10 on the Morning Blend. AM 1420, 102.7 FM. Mike Hastings joins Mike Sullivan and myself every Monday, talking about the upcoming weekend and what has just happened.
Bouncing puck to the near side that Rivera is able to get to, and he'll send it down the ice. It'll be an icing call, however. 9,500 people in the building this weekend. Not too bad.
No, not at all. 50-90 tonight and over 4,000 last night. So they've been waiting to do the Old H here for a long time now. Since 13:35 of the first period. Let's see if we can get one up here.
And Hastings is going to take his timeout with 90 seconds left to go in the contest.
Got everything out of that time, too. They got to wait for a while. Then he calls the timeout just as they're getting ready to drop the puck.
No shock, the guys he's got on the ice right now, Rivera and French, leading the way. The guys you typically see on a penalty kill first unit, they're out there with Mackey, McNeely, Sandlin right now.
Obviously, in a different situation, Mark Michaelis would be out there, but he's not on the ice tonight for the Mavericks. Hopefully next time we're here, he is.
He and Lucas Sauter, who missed tonight. There you see the standings, and there's kind of why this game right now, those points so important in Northern Michigan. With Bemidji State idle this weekend, you know that the Wildcats wanted to get something and cut into that gap, and they need a goal here in the last 90 seconds to at least force the issue into an overtime situation.
Well, Mavericks are being outshot on the home ice tonight, 22-21. We don't see that very often.
No, not indeed.
But it's not a lot of shots for either team. Frankly, it's a low number for the Mavericks, and 22 is a low number for the Wildcats.
Well, the Mavericks had 11 after the first period, so they've only had 3 shots on goal here in the third.
Saving them up for the next minute 30.
Okay.
Just need one real good one.
Nardi, and now Spooner is out for the draw, and he wins that one yet again. So a couple of big wins for the Mavericks on the draw. Chipped along the boards, still held in. Craighead with it. Gets a shot there from Spooner. Now French back in the corner. McNeely unable to clear. DeMay back into the corner. McNeely will get there. Mavericks content just trying to keep it behind the goal line at this point. To the far side, Ballou drives it right back in, and on the near side, Craighead will have it. Inside a minute, Nardi up on top. Ballou with the shot that got past everybody. McNeely bouncing puck, and that'll skip over the stick of DeMay. And Northern Michigan has to clear. It's put in on net, high over. Zmolik will take his time. Now Spooner able to play it ahead and out. Mavericks with Charlie Gerard playing it back. 25 seconds remaining. Off the boards, good play. Here comes Dallas Gerards, and it's poked away as Gerard might have had an opportunity at the open net. Played back into the zone. Zmolik trying to clear, can't do so. There's Schultz behind the net. Now Nardi out in front. It comes, and the Mavericks off the boards. Dallas Gerards tries to clear, doesn't on his first attempt, does on the second, and the Mavericks a hard fought win here tonight. But the Mavericks with the sweep on the weekend. And a 1-0 win tonight after last night, a 7-3 win. And Dan, you called it. And Dryden McKay comes through. And there you see now all-time leader as far as career shutouts, breaking that tie. Cole Huggins. Dryden McKay his 12th shutout. Good on all 22 shots he saw tonight from Northern Michigan. We will take a break, and when we come back, we'll kick things off in the post-game show. Dan will be with Maverick head coach Mike Hastings to talk about tonight's 1-0 win, this weekend sweep, and a very important weekend off for this Maverick team. And hopefully they'll get healthy and come back, as we will be back in a couple weeks with Northern Michigan again. Mavericks win tonight 1-0.
Final score this evening, 1-0 Mavericks over the Wildcats of Northern Michigan. Maverick hockey coach Mike Hastings joins us now. Coach, my assumption is it's less stressful nursing a 1-0 lead than it is facing a 2-0 deficit in the final minute of the game.
You know what? These are the type of games that we're going to be involved in over the second half. And I liked how we handled it tonight. I thought our goaltender was outstanding. Didn't make a mistake. Just set a record. Very happy for him. And I thought the guys managed the game real well. So to beat that team back to back and do it with some of the guys that we got out of the line, I'm very proud of the guys that wore the jersey tonight.
I thought two enormous saves, one in the first period with the right pad, and then one along the right post in the third period on the power play that really changed this hockey game.
Well, and they ended up squirting one from behind the goal line there late, and he was in the right spot. And so happy for him, happy for the guys. Appreciate all the people that came out today. I want to say congratulations to John Harrington, his entire staff, the women's program for knocking off Wisconsin in the building today. So it was a very special day here at the Civic Center.
Coach, it says something about your club that you can go out and win 7-3 one night, 1-0 the other night. Completely different games, yet you can still go out and get the victory.
Yeah, you know what? You've got to find different ways to win. I appreciate you bringing that up. Like I said, very proud of the group. I thought they played for each other tonight, and they were rewarded with a win.
Well over 9,000 fans who don't get to watch any hockey next weekend here in Mankato, but 2 weeks they'll be here for the regular season finale, and they were very loud when the opportunities arose tonight.
You know what? They've been a difference maker in here for quite a while, and this year especially, and we appreciate them. I know we'll be gone for a week, but hopefully we can have a lot of people back in this building 2 weeks from now when we play Huntsville.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Maverick hockey coach Mike Hastings. The final score this evening, Minnesota State Mankato 1, Northern Michigan 0. We'll take a break and come back. We'll have highlights from this game, out-of-town scores, and more on Maverick Hockey Weekend.
Northern Michigan comes in the building looking for some points to cut into the gap against Bemidji State, and they're going to leave with nothing because the Mavericks, after a 7-3 win last night, come back. Much different contest tonight, Dan, as we talked about. Coach Hastings agreed. More of what you would expect to see maybe in a playoff type of game. Shots on goal much lower. In fact, the Mavericks end up getting outshot by one, but they got the one they needed on the board, and they shut out this team tonight. 1-0 win Mavericks.
Took a long time for the officials to decide who scored the goal, but we knew all along that it was Jared Spooner, but they got the one they needed, and they got the goaltending. As we mentioned, there were two enormous saves tonight by Dryden McKay, and this is one of those shutouts so you look back and go, that's a really good one.
We'll take a look at the highlights of that goal, and that came all the way back about halfway point of the first period of play. It was a nice rush up the ice by the Mavericks, and they convert.
So Jared Spooner is 9th of the season from Walker Dewar and Dallas Gerards at 13:35, and it's 1-0 Mavericks, and that's all that they needed. See it there, and seeing it in slow motion, you can tell that Spooner obviously finished that off, but was seeing it at normal speed, it was kind of questionable whether it went off his stick or not. You see the attempted shots there, big difference, even though the Mavericks are outshot in the game. Block shots, both teams 0 for on the power play tonight, and the face-offs, Mavericks win that battle by 1. Out-of-town scores, Bowling Green, it's the final over Anchorage 4-1. Tech beats Lake Superior State 4-3 in overtime. Alaska is shutting out Huntsville in the second period, 2-0. Cornell beat Colgate tonight 4-1. Michigan State beat Minnesota 4-2, and it was Penn State over Ohio State 6-3 tonight.
Again, the Mavericks with the 1-0 win. We talked to, as you mentioned with Coach Hastings, the fact that Michaelis out of lineup, Lucas Sauter, he was very complimentary about the effort he got out of his club this weekend, despite those two guys out. Personally, I don't mind the week off. Maybe these guys with the role they're on would like it, but everybody can get healthy, and then when you come back in 2 weeks, you're not stopping until it's done.
Till it's done, whenever that is. Hopefully it's at the Frozen Four in Detroit, but either way, it's hockey from then on. So you get a little bit of break, you get everybody healthy, rested, and then make a stretch drive.
And the Mavericks with the goaltender who sets the career record in shutout as a sophomore.
He's got a few games left to play.
Defensively, top-ranked team in the country, and you're scoring goals like this. Things are setting up for what we all anticipate, including this Maverick team, to break what's needed to happen here for a long time, but obviously they're going to enter what would appear in a really strong position into the postseason tournament play.
No question. Now, there's still a lot of time where injuries and that sort of stuff can still crop up, but at the moment, the Mavericks are in great position to win the regular season title, host the playoffs all throughout, and just go storming into the NCAA tournament, and then let's get that first victory and see what happens from there.
So again, the Mavericks off next weekend. They close out the regular season in a couple weeks up at Bemidji State, but before that, we are back one more time in the regular season on February 21st, 22nd, when this Maverick team looks to possibly at that point conclude things with the WCHA regular season championship. We hope that happens here. We hope you're with us. We hope you're in the building, but if not, again, the 21st, we'll be on the air at 7 o'clock with the pregame show, 7:07 the face-off here from downtown Mankato. Dan McCarger, I'm Don Westfall, and of course the students from Bethany Lutheran College. We all appreciate the fact you spent your Saturday evening with us watching some hockey, and we appreciate the fact the Mavericks tonight close out the sweep of Northern Michigan. Mavericks win 1-0.